Guys, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the video number 403, and in this video I'm going to talk about how you can actually use the SUMIF and the COUNTIF functions with the VBA loops, right? So everything we are going to talk about today in this video is going to be the VBA. We're going to talk about the VBA function SUMIF, we are going to talk about the VBA function COUNTIF, and how beautifully we are going to use it in the loop. So my main, basically the reason of uploading this video is that I got actually an email from one of my subscribers, and I have changed the data because somehow I was not able to see I was not able to find his email, but Sunil actually had posted this question I think a week back, and I what I did is actually I uploaded a video, but that was all about the Excel skills. That was all about the how to write the Excel formula, right? But then in this video we are going to do this with the VB program. So let me explain you what we are going to do today. Now guys, this is what actually the kind of the data he had. Now here you have some transaction IDs which are which can repeat, which maybe may repeat or may not repeat, that depends, right? So we have here some IDs coming. As you can see here, I have A03 which is coming 3 times, and then B03 is coming only 1 time. Now the point is that what we want to do is we want to run the loop. It should actually give us the value here depending upon how many times this number is coming here. Right? So if it is coming 3, then that means here we should be able to divide this 100 by 3, and then 33, and then 33. This is how. And because this is not repeating, so it should come directly as 200. What about the C003? Obviously this should come as 2 divided by 2, because I have this C003 coming here only 2 times. So this is how it is going to come, and then you will divide this again with the 4, and that's how you're going to see this value. So 50, and then 50, and then 50. This is how basically the kind of requirement we have. Right now guys, if you haven't seen that video, what you can do is you can go to the playlist here. You get to see here 44 different playlists on Excel VBA, MS Access, and Access VBA. So just find out here where is the count and the sum family video. So if I just go and search it by writing count, you get to see this playlist Excel count and sum family. So here this is the video 399. This is my very recent video, a great puzzle if, COUNTIF, and SUMIF. So the same task we actually did that using the Excel function as well. We used 3 functions in one single formula. It was a beautiful video, right? It was amazing exercise if you want to know more about the COUNTIF, SUMIF, and if function. But in this we are particularly going to talk about the loops, and of course how to use the COUNTIF and the SUMIF function in the VBA. Right now I will not here discuss about the VBA functions, how to use them, what are the basics of the VBA functions. You should be knowing that what is a COUNTIF and what is a SUMIF function. If you do not know that, just go to this playlist and find out this video number 180. Right now, if you're looking if you're looking for a video which talks about how to use the COUNTIF and the COUNTIFs in the VBA, because this is all about the Excel. You can see here Excel COUNTIF and Excel count and sum family. So what you need to do is here from these 44 playlists, you get to see here one playlist which is called the Excel VBA function. So I just show you, it must be somewhere here. That's the one, Excel VBA function. When you go here, you would find here a video which the number of the video would be 401, right? Because this is, I think, video number 402 video you would get to see here. Right now I have not uploaded it, but by the time when I upload this particular video 403 on my channel, you would be able to see that video. So in that video I specifically talked about COUNTIF and the SUMIF, how to use these functions in the VBA. So you have both the things, how to use them in the Excel and how to use them in the VBA. Now let us go ahead and first of all run the loop here, and then we will see what we want to do. So the idea is basically, still I'll give you kind of little idea what I want to do. If any cell I have come across as a blank, now if you look at this data carefully, what happens, the number comes here only once. So if I have here 200 and the next row again is having a number and it is not a blank, that means that ID is not going to be repeated again. As simple as that. So I want to fill up these numbers, these blank cells. So what I will do is, first of all, I will find it out that in this entire table, what is the total sum of my this particular ID 8003, and that I can do using the SUMIF function, right? I just go and use the SUMIF function. I give the range, and the range is going to be this range. Give the criteria for example going to be this particular cell. Later on we will, in the loop, this criteria keep on changing, and then you're going to use the sum range, which is this, and you press enter and you get to see 100. So we will capture the 100 from using the SUMIF function, and then we are going to use the COUNTIF function as well, that how many times basically I have this ID coming. So I go and select this particular range, and here I will give this criteria which I actually want to count, right? This is how we use the COUNTIF function, right? And then further we will divide it 100 by 3, and we keep on printing that value in the blank cell. As simple as that, right? But in the VBA it is going to look little different. So let us see how. So here I will write here print answer. Okay, that's what I want to do here. So now the first thing, how many times this loop should run. Obviously this loop should start with the 2 and it should end at 15. So we will capture the last row. I go in the Visual Basic, and let us say I'm going to create this in the module 3. So here I go in the module 3. Let me just go in the module 3, and here you will write the program, guys. Okay, let me just close that. So we will write loop and sum and count. For example, this is the name I'm going to give to my macro. Now the macro should start tim I as long for I equals to, I would like to start it from the second row because the first row is header obviously. And how many times I need to write it? Well, I will pick up the B100 cell because I know my data is never going to reach beyond 100. You can write here 1000, 10,000, 1 million, whatever, right? So dot end XLF row, this will give you the row number, right? So now I write here next. So what happens, loop is ready, guys. It is going to start with the 2 and it is going to stop at 15. Now what we want to do, so what I will do here is, first of all I'll select my cell which is going to be on the row number 2, which would come from I, and then going to select column number 3, right? Dot select, for example. This is how I will do. So I will come from the this I, when the first time the loop runs, is going to be 2, and that 2 is going to be, we're going to pass in that 2 here. So the cell becomes cells 2 comma 3, so it will select the second row and the third row. So I will be on that cell. And then what is the next thing you want to do? Well, the next thing which you want to do is, when you select that cell, what you will do is you will write here that cells on the same row on the column number A, which is going to be first column. If the value in that cell is going to be blank, then what you would like to do, then you would like to, because for example here I have that cell coming as blank, then what I would like to do is I would like to print the value, I would like to divide the 100 by the number of the the times this A003 is coming. Okay? Maybe you can do one thing, because if I run this loop on the blank cell, this is going to be ignored, and we don't need that, because in this particular case we need here 33.3, 33 and 33, kind of this value we need. So this value also should be taken care of. So better what we do is, let's not give this basically equals to blank statement. We will simply do one thing. We will once we are on this, if I just run this loop, see that my cursor is on this cell. Right now, when the cursor is on this cell, what I would like to do is I will simply say that the active cell is going to be equals to active cell dot value. It is going to be equals to, I'm going to actually capture the cell. Which cell? Value. How are you going to capture that value? We will use the SUMIF function. So you go ahead and write this worksheet function dot SUMIF. So we write the function. I already had explained this function in my previous video. And you need to go to the Excel VBA functions playlist and find it out if you're looking for more explanation. So SUMIF, in the SUMIF, what is the first thing I get to see? The range. What is your range? So basically the range is going to be my range. I'll start from the B2 to, let us say I select B15. Okay, and then is the criteria, the argument 2 is the criteria. Which criteria you want to check? Want to SUMIF. Obviously I want to check this value, which is A003. So you will write here on the same row number, because row number will be same, the column number 2 is going to be picked up. Okay, and dot value. So this is going to be my 8003, and then where you want to sum it, for the sum range, I have here range, and then I'm going to start it with the A2 to A15. That's how my function is going to be done. So in other words, what we have done this SUMIF, and then here we have given the range, and then here we have written the criteria, what is the criteria in that range, and then here you have said that we want to sum. This is just for your information, right? This is how we use in the function in the Excel. If I just show you range, criteria, and sum range. So the range is going to be this, and the criteria is obviously going to be this value, which would come from this row number and the column number 2, and then obviously corresponding range is going to be A2 to A15. So you get to see here the value. What we need is, let's do one thing. Instead of the active cell value, let us store this value in a variable. So I write here total amount, for example, equals to this, and why don't we go ahead and declare this variable here, total amount, as long, single, double, whatever you want to use. What is the next thing I want to do? The next thing, there is one more variable which I will count. So I will count count ID as again long. So you're going to declare that variable again here, COUNTIF. We are going to use the COUNTIF. So this count ID is going to be equals to worksheet function dot COUNTIF. You know that there are two arguments. The first argument obviously is going to be range. So what is your range? You know that what is your range, right? Your range is actually B2 to B15. So you will have the range, and in this range, what you want to count? You want to count actually a value which again comes from R, 2. So R is very important for us, right? So this is how loop should look like. And I see that there's some error. Let me find it out. What is the error? So I think I forgot to close it. Yeah, there we go. Now you will have the count ID also. So basically now the what is left is you simply go ahead and divide it. So I just write here active cell is going to be equals to total amount and then divided by count ID. Wonderful, right? And then the next time when the loop runs, obviously your I will change and you will have a new value here. Okay? So this is how this is going to work. So let us see if we can if we have solved this or not. I just go ahead and run the function. Variable not defined. Which variable? I haven't defined it. Alright, so I actually declared here R. So basically guys, R you can also declare, but I guess I is fine. We can declare the I here. Let's not unnecessarily create another variable. I'm gonna keep it this I, and here as well I. I basically is for the row number. So I go ahead and start the code. So I is now going to be 2 because the loop starts with the 2. It is going to be, select the cell which is going to be on the row number 2 and the column number 3. So you know that combination of row number 2 and column number 3 is going to be C3, right? So this takes me to the text cell, and now I'm going to calculate the total amount. What is the total amount? So this is going to pick up the criteria, which the criteria would come from here. So cell I2 dot value, what is my value in the cell I2? Obviously what I can do is I can show you this is the criteria, because so the criteria, if you just go ahead and put the watch on this, you can see that the criteria is going to be 8003. Right? This is perfect. So that's my criteria, and this is what exactly I want to count it. So let's go ahead and I put the watch here maybe. Now so this is going to be calculated. If I run this, you see that the total amount should come as 100, which is perfect, right? Because A003 is coming here 100. Now again this is going to be counted. So now what you want to count, again the same thing you want to count here, cell I, 2 value, but this is a COUNTIF function. So in the range B2 to B15, I will have my this A003 counted, and it should come as 3. So let me see that. There we go. So finally your active cell is going to be divided, 100 is going to be divided with 3. So you have your answer here as 3. Perfect. Now next for the next term, so I is going to be now 3. This I is now going to be incremented by the next, and now you have a new cell. In the new cell, now what you would like to do, again you would go ahead and use the same thing. This function will work the same way. You will have the B2 to B15, this entire range, and in this entire range you're going to pick up the column number 2, okay, and the row number obviously going to come here as 3. So this is my again the same cell, right? So if I just run this, see that again it is A003, and you have a total amount now again 100, and again the count is going to give you the same result, which is 3, and you have your active cell value as 33.3. Again I run the same stuff, I go to the next cell, again I should see the same result. Very nice. Okay, I go to the next cell. Now here the value will change, and as you can see here, A003 is changed to now guys B003. So my criteria is changed, so now this is going to be counted. The total amount will be calculated in this range, this range, and corresponding to the this amount range, it will do all its calculations. So you get to see here total amount as 200, which is perfect for B003, and the count should come as 1. This is wonderful, and you have here 200. Similarly, when you go to the next cell, again in the next cell now C003, we are going to pick up the SUMIF. We are going to see the total of C003, which is going to come as 300, and now it is going to be counted again in the same range, which is B2 to B15. You have here a count as 2. So obviously this now 300 is going to be divided by 2, and you have 150. You have one more 150. So you keep on running this, and I think this is going to work. Wow, wonderful. So thank you so much, dear subscriber, for this question. Why I didn't read your email this time, because I had already explained that your video is already there on the Excel, but since you requested for the VBA code, I thought let's go ahead and make the VBA code as well. So this is how you can run this loop, and this loop keep on running, and you have your answer. Go, and finally the macro stops. Perfect, right? So if you think that you didn't really get to know SUMIF and COUNTIF and the video was fast, then I'll tell you again, I'm repeating, the video wasn't fast. I expect that you should have a good understanding of SUMIF and COUNTIF, and if you don't have, no worries guys. Just first, before you learn these functions on the VBA, go ahead and check out the playlist Excel Count and Sum Family and pick up the count and the sum video, right? I explained everything there from the very scratch, and if you know that, then you can go and check out the Excel VBA function series, how to use that in the Excel VBA function in the VBA environment, the same functions, right? In this video it was more of a this I wanted to give an attempt to answer this query, came from my subscriber, and also because the beautiful loop which we have made it, the formula also becomes very dynamic. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this session, and we're gonna talk something more in the coming videos. Keep posting your comments and do subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much guys.